Hey everybody, it's Sarah and I am back with a quick flip through of my project life. This is going to be my second one of 2016. This is going to go from like March to June, I think. Okay, I'm just going to start because it's really thick and I don't want this video to be too long. This is a big 12 by 12 page protector that I sewed Hello on. It is acetate pieces from C'est La Vie, and then I filled it full of, I think, Sunny Smiles sequin mix from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I did it for a design team project. So that just says hello, and it kind of covers up my first page, which I will just kind of do a close-up of because I was really proud of this one. I spent a lot of time on this guy. That's probably my favorite card out of the whole thing. And you're going to hear a lot of outside noises because it's raining like crazy again. And evidently 7 o'clock at night is rush hour in my neighborhood. So sorry. Okay, I'm going to stick that back in. And I'm hoping you guys aren't going to get too much glare. I'm going to try to move it around and maybe zoom in so there's just the least amount of glare as possible. There we go. Manageable. Okay, so this says volume 2. It is volume 2. Volume 1, I'm pretty sure I did a flip through of. So here we have week 14. Let me make sure that everything is in view and not completely Glare City. Slightly Glare City. Wrong way. Okay, slightly more manageable. Okay, week 14 looks like a lot of Maggie Holmes Bloom. Here I did a really fun flip pocket. You know, this is like, that's kind of my jam. I love these 3x4 and 4x6 flip pockets. Cover up kind of like, you know, that's fun to look at in 30 years. Like, oh look, Mom bought, you know, St. Ives and some Irish Spring and some tubs, but like, it's not pretty. So you covered up with something pretty, right? So I kind of choose the maybe not most artistic picture that I have taken all week, and that's the one that I usually cover up with a really pretty sequin mix because that is a really fun way to show off a pretty sequin mix. That is one of them from Lucy's cards. I don't remember which one. So that must have been right around Easter because I'm taking pictures of Easter lilies. Here I did a couple of, or at least one insert. Here is one insert that I did. Because I had, oh, that looks like my Easter dinner. See, like, okay, I know everybody eats different foods in the world, and Americans tend to eat ham and some sort of potato product, and it doesn't always turn out to look like the best thing on a plate. I'm telling you, I made a great dinner. It doesn't look so pretty in that picture. And I tried to make a pretty plate, but you know, how good can green bean casserole and like fruit salad really look on a plate? So that is another reason that, you know, you get a 4x6, you fill her up with some beautiful sequins and you sew her shut, because then it kind of covers up the weird looking ham and the green bean casserole that maybe everyone doesn't like. Okay, so anyhow, we are still Easter, yet more Easter lilies. Most of this was Bloom. I did use some of the Cute Girl? No. The Baby Girl collection from Crepe Paper, whatever that was called. Here I did one of these fun vellum, kind of like triangular pockets where I cut a triangle of vellum, I sew it on, and then I tuck some extra, you know, whatever ephemera I have laying around on there, and then decorate the outside of the pocket. And as you know, I love to use my old typewriter, type out my journaling for the week and then cut it out kind of wonky. I know there are people that use their trimmer and their little guillotine trimmer for that, but I enjoy it to look wonky. Week 15. Looks like I was moving into some of that Pebbles spring collection. Still trying to use up some Maggie Holmes. Went and had some biscuits at Hardee's. Yum, yum. Here's another one of these pockets that I did. I think this was like apricot mix from Lucy's cards. Kind of covering up my daughter returning some books at the library. Working on eating some Easter candy. Going to Zantigo's. If anybody lives in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area, look up Zantigo's. It is the best Mexican fast food ever. Chubby little fingers playing with Lego. This is week 15. No, week 16, which was April 10th through 16th. I wonder why I don't know. Oh, I bet I ran out of W's. I bet that's what it was. I bet I ran out of W's. So I just spelled out April because I loved those Maggie Holmes little puffy glitter alphas so much. And I'm pretty sure I probably have like a couple of Z's and a Q left right now. That's it. Did another one of those side pockets, using up some tassels. Looks like we had a book fair at school. Oh, and then here's some Chick-fil-A. Once again, you know, pretty much everyone knows what Chick-fil-A looks like. So I covered it up with a beautiful Spiegel Mom Scraps sequin collection. Finally warm enough, and the snow must have melted enough to have some sidewalk chalk. This is, oh, I was moving into kind of the fancy free stuff with week 17. Here I just stamped on a 3x4 card because I don't always have room. Like, where would I have put the date stamp up there? It was kind of a busy card. And I think this was for Spiegel Mom Scraps. This was another design team layout. Filled up another sequin pocket, and I just added a few seed beads from my stash. Covered up a picture of my husband and my daughter at the grocery store because, you know, the rest of the pictures are really pretty other than the grocery store picture, which grocery store pictures never turn out well. Oh, here I did an insert. My mom went on vacation to North Carolina, and we were watching her kitties for her and getting her mail while she was gone. And her friend put a bunch of pictures on Facebook from their adventures. So I kindly stole them and printed them off and documented that because, you know, in 30 years, my girls might want to say, hey, look, Grandma went to North Carolina and tried a whole ton of moonshine. They went to a distillery that had like 15 different kinds. They did bring us one home, and they were in these really neat little jars. So whoever that lady is, you're YouTube famous now. And just beautiful pictures of like Grandfather Mountain. And then here is just documenting that my oldest daughter would run in every day to check her P.O. box for her. Oh, this was a 2 insert week, I see, because it was the daddy-daughter dance at school. So my daughter got all dressed up in her cute spring little, not formal dress, but spring dress. And I let her use the purse that I carried when I got married. And then there's my husband and my daughter all ready to go. Filled this guy up with another sequin mix, also from Lucy's Cards. And then I did kind of a bigger notes page or a bigger journaling page there just to talk about the dance. And she had so much fun, and she got to dance with all of her little friends. And, oh, here's some of the Healthy Hello from Jelly Bean Soup. And just kind of mix that all together with a little bit of the She Blooms from Faith Illustrated. The rain is really coming down. This is another thing I love to do. I love to document the seasons. I live in Minnesota. We can be as cold as 30 below and as hot as 110 degrees. You know, we experience a really beautiful, colorful fall. We get a lot of snow in the winter. It gets really cold. We have very hot, very lush summers. And then we have beautiful blooming springs. So I love to document all of our seasons a lot. And one thing I love to do is take a picture of what the trees and the kind of sky looks like during that season, and then put some sort of something in the middle, like a big thicker or something like that, just to kind of show off the seasons. Because, you know, maybe if I lived in California, I wouldn't, you know, really care about the seasons because it would always be 78 and sunny. But Minnesota, the weather is a big part of our day. If you see someone, you say, hi, how are you? Oh, can you believe it's going to rain later? Can you believe we got snow yesterday? Like, you know, you don't even know the person, but you're going to stand there and talk with them about the weather for 5 minutes because that's just kind of how we roll in Minnesota. Okay, and also, I have 3 enormous crimson maple trees that notoriously go from crimson to green like every May. all of April, half of May, they'll be this gorgeous crimson, beautiful, and then one day, boom, they're green. If anybody has any ideas why, I would love to know. There are other crimson maples on my street that stay crimson. They're gorgeous right now. Mine are green. I don't know. The first year we moved into our house, they stayed crimson. Ever since we moved in, they've turned green. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Okay, back to the spread. Here I'm using some of the Saturday collection from Basic Gray. I've got some Felicity from Pink Fresh Studio. I had a little bit more fun stuff going on. Here I covered up. Okay, this was absolutely delicious pizza that photographed horribly. We went to Giordano's for our 9th wedding anniversary. You know, delicious, thick, authentic Chicago deep dish pizza that melts in your mouth and you want to eat the whole thing. But it didn't photograph very well, so yet another reason. You know, it looks much better covered in beautiful sequins from Lucy's Cards, right? Oh, and then here I did something different. This was the cut-apart sheet from that Basic Gray Saturday collection. And I usually don't do this because I almost always have typos, and if you read that, I'm sure you'd find one. I just stuck the journaling card right in my sewing machine, and it worked. So we went with it. Okay, week 19. This must have been for Spiegel Mom Scraps too, because there's a lot of Spiegel Mom Scrap stuff on here. Some of those Cloudy Days felties that I stapled on. I made a lot of my own filler cards because there was just, in fact, I might have accidentally gotten 2 packs of the Felicity paper ephemera. I think I had a lot of that to use up. And then here I did an insert because I must have just had so many pictures. Oh yeah, we went for a walk. My mom and the girls and I all went for a walk. Now it's thundering. Sorry, people. And I wanted to get pictures of everything in bloom. And it was just everywhere we turned, there were these beautiful, like, cherry blossom trees just completely full of beautiful blossoms. And, oh, when we ran to the grocery store and got a different grocery store and got some donuts for breakfast, and, you know, don't really need to see the bag all the time because it looks prettier with sequins on it. My husband got his boat out for the first time. I did another Franken card. I love doing Franken cards. I'll get a close-up of that guy. It was just a 3x4 piece of pattern paper, and then I put a slightly larger or slightly smaller piece of glitter cardstock, and then I put like a piece from the cut-apart sheet from the Healthy Hello collection, and then I just sewed it on. I love making Franken cards. Like Frankenstein. Love it. One of my favorite things to do because I don't do any core kits, anything like that anymore. Okay, week 20. Mother's Day. That was the cake that we had for Mother's Day. It was white chocolate and raspberry. It was delicious. Oh, and I finally used up these guys. I had these 3, the knife and the fork and the spoon, in my stash forever. And then finally, I came up with a way to use them because on Mother's Day, my husband put a full rack of ribs on the smoker. And that was, and then it says nom because it was a good way to use it up. Another Franken card. Discovered 1893 cola at Quick Trip. Absolutely delicious. I would very highly recommend it. It's like $2 a can, but it's like a super treat every once in a while. And then I tried something different for journaling here. I had those darn pesky numbers from Fancy Free to use up. So I just kind of said what we did every day. Like 1, we smoked ribs for Mother's Day, which obviously would have been Sunday because I go Sunday through Saturday for Project Life. 2, I had the best cake, which would have been leftovers from the day before. 3, I posed for silly selfies. So just a different way to use up those numbers because it just kills me not to use stuff up. It just kills me. I don't like having a huge stash laying around of old stuff. Here was another dinner that I made, and this was, oh, those Bertolli dinners in the, Bertolli or Bellatoria? Those frozen Italian dinners that are like $7 a bag at Target. And then I always throw a loaf of garlic bread in the oven and cover it with some Parmesan cheese. I mean, it tasted good. Once again, food does not always photograph the best, and I am not a food blogger by any means. I'm just going to grab a couple of DVDs and set this up a little bit higher to see if that, oh God, I think that made the glare worse. Sorry guys, a little bit better. Okay, so once again, like I said, here's a picture of the trees, and then I put dream, summer is a state of mind, because you get the idea. It's trees, it's the sky. And oh, and we had a bunch of peonies that were volunteers. I didn't plant any peonies. I think the rabbits did. Excuse me, if you know what I mean. I think the rabbits planted them. So yeah, I was definitely getting into Fancy Free and using those glitter word thickers from Fancy Free. Oh, this was a fun one. My girls had their dance recital. We went to church. I made homemade French toast. I covered up the dance recital girls because even though they're tiny, I didn't like get permission to have them on, you know, YouTube. And I did this one for a Spiegel Mom Scraps design team project. So I wanted to kind of have them covered up because just in case someone would zoom in and be like, hey, that's my kid, you know, whatever, just for privacy's sake. I tried something different here. I underlined the live and the loud with my sewing machine instead of my typical just sewing around the border. This was really fun. I loved journaling on this big 4x6, and I layered some clouds because there were some puffy clouds, and there were the felt clouds from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and this might be my favorite card from the whole thing. Excuse me. There is that glitter cloud, and then I covered it up, or I layered on some of the felt clouds from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I love that card. Oh, and then this was a happy accident. These two guys, I put all of my pictures through Adobe Photoshop Lightroom to brighten them and then to add the borders. And so these guys would have come, let me show you. These guys would have come together like this. This is a picture from our vacation. And I make sure that this gutter is exactly twice of the border on each side, so there's an even white border around it. But I accidentally printed them portrait instead of landscape, or excuse me, you know what I mean. I printed them the wrong way, but it actually turned out to be a happy accident because then I could use them sideways on these 4x6 cards, which I haven't done, but I love the way that that looks because you know how I normally do it. I normally do it like, let's see, just like this. You know, I got my 3x4 and I place it somewhere on there, and then I embellish on like one side. So this was really fun. In fact, I have to mentally remind myself the next time I order pictures, because I order every other week through Persnickety Prints. I have to remember to do some of these as landscape instead of portrait, because I just love the way they turned out. Oh, Rib Fest. Okay, so we, like, pretty much every week, June, July, August, we do kind of an extra activity, usually as a family. Go to the zoo, go to the park, go on a picnic, go to an amusement park, something like that. So I try to do a full 2-page spread for every extra event we do during the summer, because we're so busy during the school year with piano and choir and swimming and dance and this and that, that I feel like the school year is just such a daily grind that I like to really make a big deal out of summer. So this was Rib Fest. This was, my husband runs a liquor store, and one of the suppliers has a huge barbecue every single Memorial Day weekend, the Sunday before, and it's been going on for like 20 years. And my husband for the last few years has helped cook. They do like 30 racks of ribs, they do 50 chicken thighs, they do like 100 pounds of pulled pork. It's like huge. There's like, sometimes there's 200 people there. And my husband has been helping to cook the last few years. And the girls and I show up usually closer to eating time, because it's a lot of kind of I don't know, like older people, and there aren't really a whole ton of kids there, so I don't want the kids there like tearing the place down. Plus, the owners have these beautiful lush gardens, which I took a lot of pictures of. So the girls and I usually basically just show up to eat. And there's always really fancy food, like I think this is pavlova. It's always really gourmet, yummy stuff. Tin Roof, that is the shed where they used to make wine, and there might still be a wine label called Tin Roof. I can't remember anymore. I did something different here. I splattered it with some white Heidi Shine, and then I just added some of the kind of stitch looking chipboard and some of the stitch looking like puffy things that came in with the thickers. Oh, here I did a really quick kind of manly insert because I think the day before this my husband went fishing with his brother, and this is not the best picture, and I lightened it up in Lightroom as best as I could. It's actually a still taken from his GoPro because he puts a GoPro on the edge of his boat, so you know when he catches the big one or Bigfoot walks past or whatever, he can get that on camera. Here I did my journaling because I had a lot to talk about this event. Just trying to use up, I had a heck of a time using up that fancy free wood. Just a heck of a time. And she's got this beautiful aged fence that's got like all this like moss and stuff growing on it. It was so fun. And my youngest daughter, who is the pickiest eater on the planet, went nuts on the ribs, bone and everything. Okay, week 23. Oh gosh, we're at 20 minutes. Okay, I gotta hurry. Okay, we're at week 23. Here I had kind of transitioned into my more summery stuff because this was May going into June. So you're going to see some Happy Place. You're going to see some Better Together, that kind of stuff. I think a little bit of the Jen Hadfield Everyday snuck its way in here. I did use the new thickers from Amy Tan. Her new line has completely escaped me at this moment. This was something new that I did. I used this flip pocket, and I just put in, it was from the cutout sheet, it says "This is my happy place," and I added some sequin mixes from Lucy's Cards. I also did journaling on a big 4x6. I tried to keep this week simple because I think this was my design team application for Hip Kit that I didn't get. Oh well, I don't really know if being employed full-time and being on 3 design teams is really where I could be right now. Plus my kids are in a bunch of activities, and I don't think I'd have really had time, but you know how it is when you don't get chosen. There's always a little party that's kind of hurt, but oh well. Oh, and then I did a little bit of handwritten journaling, which I never ever do because I really don't like my handwriting. To me it looks like a 3rd grader's handwriting, I guess. I don't know. Okay, week 24, those beautiful enamel thickers from Happy Place. I just absolutely love those. And this was a really fun thing that I did. This is my husband's boat parked. He just took a picture of it. And then, you know, because it's not the most, I don't want to say photogenic, but it's not the most artsy picture that he's ever taken, I covered it up with one of these 4x6 Becky Higgins Fuse, like, I don't know what, I think they're supposed to be just like a flip pocket that you add 2 pictures to, but I always fill them with sequins. So here I filled it with a sequin mix from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I added maybe just, looks like maybe some pink seed beads, and then I just put Lake all day, every day, because that's, until my husband broke the prop on his boat, he had his boat out at least like twice a week. So, and that's actually what made us go to Door County for vacation, because the only place, he has a brand spanking new boat, and the only place that had the propeller that he needed for his boat was a place in Door County, and he ordered it. He must have ordered it like the end of July, and we all kind of said, "Oh, it's coming from Door County. Can we go there and go pick it up?" And he's like, "Do you guys want to go back?" And we're like, "Yes." So he's like, "Pick out a week." I said, "Sweet." Okay, kind of just more of my typical stuff here. I tried to use sequins instead of enamel dots to try to show off some of the sequins from her shop. I also am, let me show you, trying to use up all of these gorgeous little stars I got from Colorcast Designs last Christmas. I ordered 2 tablespoons worth, and it was like $6 for 2 tablespoons, and I've been using them for like 8 months. It's just been insane. Like, I can't believe how many you get. And let's see, got a Sonic, National Donut Day. Oh, and then I had a moment here of not being able to get that into my book, but I will lay it down flat and show it to you. Okay, this is the last week. well, this is the last event. This was Adventure at Minnehaha. So this was the next week, and this was the adventure that we went on. We went to Minnehaha Falls in Minneapolis. We packed a lunch. We grabbed some really amazing pre-made sandwiches at a local bakery. This one I think was called the Great Northerner. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And I accidentally had 2 of the same pictures going, so I thought, hey, I'll cover it up with a sequin mix. You know, you won't really be able to tell it's the exact same picture. I dipped my chubby little Tootsies in the water because it kind of turned out to be a really hot day. And now I will quickly, I was in a hurry last night and I kind of forgot I did this. Okay, this is my last page. I wanted to hurry up and get this last page done last night so I could do a quick share video with you. So this is my last page, and I just wanted to show off some of the things that we're going to do like in the next volume. Hello Fun. Obviously summer is fun. We're going to be doing a lot of swimming in the next volume, lots of adventures. We'll go on an adventure every week. We love to pack us some picnics and travel. I can't wait to start documenting our trip to Door County. Okay, so that's it. Sorry, this has been 26 minutes. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for all your lovely, sweet comments. And I love reading comments and commenting back from all you guys. So thank you so much. Good night, ladies.